What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy gaming, buddy. It is Thursday. It is almost the weekend. What's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to clear the week's games to make room for the weekend's games. You know, it's one of those, but it's been one great day already today. I'm gonna... A lot of people on the Halo servers are about to feel my rage.
There we go. Feel the wrath of Scott over there. But you guys can always be joining us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official. If you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show, details about the length of Elden Rings story may surprise you. Valve is all set to launch their Steam Deck next month, and the creator of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon, thinks The Rock would make a great Shao Kahn.
I see it. But...
I do too, but really? Whatever. Dude, let's get into our top story. It is Elden Rings story. Takes 30 hours to beat. Side content adds dozens more. This comes from Jason over at Game Informer. How long will players be exploring this alleged possible Game of the Year sandbox? Already, Scott, listed as a possibility of Game of the Year.
I think that's the definition of hype right there.
I would think so, right? Obviously,
we just mentioned launching and console releases and such. If they can stick the landing,
sure.
I think that is a fair statement, possibly.
It very well could be. Well, according to PC Games End report, Elden Ring's main story will take around 30 hours to beat, with side content adding dozens more. Of course, it's probably safe to throw another 10 to 20 hours of you died overlays to the runtime too. But dude, do you think the 30 hours is a good mark for a game like this? Do you think it's too much? Do you take into effect the length of an overall game at all when you're going into playing a game like this?
With any of the Souls game, I've never really considered those before. So I'm trying to think back, and 30 hours was likely much too short for my skill level, and mostly that of the planet. If the Souls game comes together right, you will spend a lot of time in that you died screen. It's been memed forever, but it's gonna come back. And I wonder if 30 hours compares to the other titles, just in terms of moderate skill level. You know, if I accept that I'm gonna die a dozen times on some of them, where does that leave me? But 30 hours of punishment, that's quite a lot.
Absolutely. I am not one to be a big fan of getting punished over and over and over and over again, and there's a game I'm talking about here very shortly that will enhance on that experience. Dark Souls 1, Scott, 42 and a half hours.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of gives you an idea of where they're looking at. But don't forget all the side content as well, right? But they also said here you are likely to spend 105 hours to obtain 100% completion for Dark Souls. So that's for Dark Souls. Yeah. So you kind of figure somewhere in around the same range here, if not more. We're seeing a lot of games take, well, they just saw Dying Light 2 to complete everything's going to be 500 hours.
Yeah.
What? Why? Why is that a thing? The 30-hour mark? Dude, we see the change of cycles go. I just reviewed Uncharted, the Legacy of Thieves collection, and for that one there, like Uncharted 4 and then even the Lost Legacy DLC was longer than the previous titles. With new iterations, every game seems to be getting a little bit longer. Assassin's Creed will keep you there for hours on end. The Witcher 3 will have you there for 200-300 hours, plus the DLC. Like, dude, there's just so much to kind of keep you enthralled in worlds. It's hard to branch out sometimes and go into something else. I do enjoy a shorter game from time to time, so I'm not stuck there for 100 hours, 200 hours.
Yeah, I like that feeling of completion, and 300 hours in any game is almost I want to say that's too much, but yeah, if you saw the number of hours I spent on Elite Dangerous, though, right, well, I could justify it sometimes. But man, to get into a Dark Souls game and get to the end, that is quite an accomplishment. And I feel like they're just extending that goalpost a little bit further, because it's not always clear what is side content and what is main content. You know, in Dark Souls, they might tell you needed to go defeat the 4 Lord Souls. Well, sure, okay, but there's no map, so you end up going through the whole game.
Well, right now I'm in the middle of Odyssey, or I think towards the end of it. And there's one quest I'm doing. I'm going, is this like DLC content? Because it's not really separated in my eyes to say this is DLC and this is main quest content, right? So I'm kind of all over the place going, which one is which? Where am I going? So I'm hoping that it's just story, because I just want to get the main campaign finished and then be able to move on to Valhalla. But Corey alone, over in the world of Valhalla, has well over 100 hours. But then you get into multiplayer games, Scott, and like you say, right? Like Elite Dangerous for you, Siege for me, I'm almost at 1,000 hours now.
Yeah, Siege is another impressive one. We played a lot of that.
Exactly.
Elite Dangerous was my World of Warcraft experience, but just I put the hours there. It's rare that I spend that much time on a game.
Yes.
I'm wondering in terms of Elden Ring, is there any? I almost called it Elden Souls, same thing. But
Same deal.
I wonder if they've accounted for any sort of DLC, if there's roadmap, if they,
Mm.
is that DLC going to add an estimated 20 hours? I know it's coming. Every Souls game has had it in the past, so
Sure.
it'd be strange to not have DLC.
So you think it would align then? Yeah, DLC is in the future of this game, and then if you beat it in 30 hours, stick around a little bit longer, maybe do a couple side quests here or there, but then get ready for the DLC drop, which could be another 10, 20, maybe even 30 hours itself, depending on how far they kind of go in, right? Now that the world is built. Is it just a matter of adding on a couple quests, a couple new features, more gear, more magical spells, that kind of thing?
If I had to guess, if the DLC comes along with R.R. Martin's name on it, you could expect quite a lengthy amount of DLC. That wouldn't be just a skin swap.
No, I think you're right. Absolutely. I think R.R. Martin has a lot of cadence when it comes to creating a game environment like this, right? Obviously, we're still waiting on the book to end when it comes to Game of Thrones, but that's a whole other topic. You see him moving on to other things and other projects, so we'll see what happens here. But man, Elden Ring, obviously a very highly anticipated title this year, just around the corner now, coming out at the end of February. But we'll see. We'll keep you updated because we're hoping to be on that review as well. Scott, moving into the world of what Valve's doing. Valve's Steam Deck officially launching in late February. Comes from John Carson over at Game Informer. Valve wasn't joking a few weeks ago when it said that its upcoming handheld Steam Deck was going to hit current shipping targets. Yesterday, the company announced that the first batch of Steam Decks will start to be sold to customers on February 25th and sent out shortly after. More specifically, Valve plans to send out emails to those lucky early reservation holders starting on February 25th. From there, customers will have 72 hours to respond and confirm the purchase. If that process proceeds smoothly, a shiny new Steam Deck will be delivered to its new home starting on February 28th. Dude, the Steam Deck. Overall thoughts on the Steam Deck and the concept of this. Is it a good thing? Are you looking forward to it? Will you get one, Scott?
I am very curious to see how it performs and also the general public reaction, because it is fitting sort of a niche that the Switch has occupied for the last several years. So I don't quite see it as a direct competitor, though. And as time goes on, I'm starting to lose a little bit of confidence, and I'm wondering if they're going to stick this landing. That seems to be the biggest question on my mind now, is how's the launch going to go?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, right? You're always a little concerned when it's brand new tech. It's one thing to go from one Xbox console to the next, or one PlayStation console to the next. You're getting an up-res. This is brand new, right? Mm-hmm. This is brand new for Valve. And Valve is a big company. There's no doubt about it. They put a lot of time, research, development, and all this stuff. But the ability to take my Steam library, dude, and go wherever I want with it. Now, sometimes that's not going to be fitting for that particular game. It may not even work for that particular game I'm on, right? That's the biggest cadence. When it was first announced, it was kind of revealed as, hey, you got your Steam library, you got 1,000 games in there, pick one, and away you go. That's not the case, right? Valve's going through to make sure, okay, this game works, that game works, this game works. Like, they'll be there for years trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
I immediately thought, okay, Total War on the go. The least sensical game, and without a keyboard and a mouse, I don't think it's going to happen. So that kind of deflates my excitement a little bit. But it's an interesting situation to see, because I'm seeing a lot of this semiconductor shortages still affecting everyone.
Oh man,
big time. PlayStation, they're doing their own to kind of clean up, and Xbox seems to be shutting down the factories on the Xbox One. I'm not sure if I understand that strategy there, but I've seen news coming out of the States now talking about how car manufacturing is slowing down and just about everything.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if, how did Valve acquire these parts to build the Steam Deck? Have they been working on these for months now? What is their kind of holding inventory right now?
No, that's a good question to ask. We are concerned how many of these are going to get out in the wild. Nobody can still find a PS5. We still can't get another Xbox Series X. Like, getting the next gen consoles are almost impossible. But yet you're about to ship all these. Obviously, they have their warehouse full of whatever. How many they have, nobody knows. But some will be getting them. I'm definitely curious to sit on This is one of the consoles, dude, I actually waited on. I'm like, I want one. There's no doubt about it. I really do want one. But I'm going to wait to see everybody else's feedback before I jump in. Because I've been known to get bit in the behind before on jumping in early on stuff. So let's see what the reviews are, how well it works, how many games I can play it on, and all that kind of thing. But dude, the idea of taking my Steam library is very appealing because you and I both know the amount of Steam games we each have.
Oh yeah, you scroll that list and you're there for a couple minutes.
Yes, yeah, it kind of just keeps going, right? So it's one of those things. What also keeps going though, Scott, is The Rock. Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon says The Rock would make a great Shao Kahn. Dude, what do you want me to say? Okay, that's good. It comes from Vlad over at The Gamer. The Rock has made quite a stir with a recent statement. The actor is currently involved in bringing, quote, one of the biggest, most badass games to the screen, end quote, leaving many wondering what it's going to be. Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon added a little heat to this one, suggesting that Dwayne Johnson would make, quote, a great Shao Kahn, end quote. Scott, thoughts on The Rock kicking it with Mortal Kombat?
Well, it's an interesting idea because, well, of course, I mentioned yesterday, I think of Doom. He wasn't the Doom guy, but he made a good soldier amongst them. So I'm thinking of, well, his acting career hasn't quite involved anything this brutal. But he does look the part of many of the different characters. You could almost put him in almost any role. I would say Johnny Cage would be a big mismatch.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't, not even close.
He would have to lose about 200 pounds to be Chinook. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people online talking about, well, he could be a good Goro. There's reasons why that can't happen, but it's
he's
really
dead.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I did. Yeah, guy's been long gone. That's not gonna happen. So that's the end of that, right? Northern Nerdcast joined us and said he's gonna be Kratos. Oh, dude. No. Can you imagine The Rock as Kratos?
I would accept that for sure.
That would work.
Every time I think of Kratos or God of War, I think of Christopher Judge being the voice of Kratos, and he fits it so well.
Oh, man.
And the man could be Kratos. There's a lot of people that would argue about certain aspects of that portrayal, if you know what I'm getting at. But I think it would be excellent.
He's definitely got the body build to do it. The voice, though, I question, right? That's when when all of a sudden you have such a beloved franchise as God of War, and so many people falling in love with the 2018 title, then them just bringing it over to the world of PC, which introduced a whole new set of fans over there with 75,000 players coming on Steam to check out God of War. Dude, Christopher Judd's voice is ingrained in Kratos now. That's the biggest thing, right? So how do you transition that over into film and then have The Rock voice it? Can he do that?
You could dub it. That would be really strange, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, no.
That might make it more notable among filmmakers, actually. But
yeah,
it's probably the easiest vocal audition you could ever ask for.
Sure.
Boy.
Well, that's all he has to say, right? Speaking of Mortal Kombat, Scott, a sequel to Mortal Kombat reboot film is in the works. This comes from the writer attached to the project. John Carson over at Game Informer informs us what's going on there. According to a report by Deadline, the 2021 film reboot Mortal Kombat was successful enough to warrant a sequel. Moon Knight lead writer Jeremy Slater has been tapped to write the script for Mortal Kombat 2. Slater has been involved with the James Wan produced adaptation of Stephen King's The Tommy Knockers. Really?
I am not familiar with that one.
No, not at all. And helped develop the graphic novel series The Umbrella Academy for Netflix. Outside of Slater's involvement, not much is known about the greenlit Mortal Kombat 2 quite yet. Dude, I'm pretty excited. I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 1 reboot, so I'm curious to see where the second one goes.
I haven't actually seen that one, but I really like, was it 97 or 99 when the first Mortal Kombat movie came? I love that movie. And there will never be a better Shao Kahn, just as a side.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shang Tsung is the character I'm thinking of. Your soul is mine, that guy. That was awesome. And I think any sort of Mortal Kombat movie in that space, I'm going to really like. So I'm excited that that reboot did well enough to inspire a new one.
No, absolutely. I think that's pretty exciting for sure. Scott, why don't you take the next one? We're just back into the world of Dark Souls. Go ahead, buddy.
Yes. Well, this comes from Matt Cook over at Game Ranks. Dark Souls games taken offline due to an exploit, and there's worry this may affect Elden Ring.
Ouch.
Over the past weekend, a massive exploit was discovered in Dark Souls 3. The issue in question is a remote code execution exploit. I'm not so sure what that means. That can allow hackers to run any code they like on somebody else's PC.
Wow.
Oh, that's quite an open door.
Wow. Doesn't that open up things?
Yeah, well, it allows them to do whatever they like with a PC, including stealing private info, installing crypto miners, and just flat out bricking the computer. That is quite an issue.
That's a big issue.
This this exploit has been spread online, and Bandai Namco and From Software have elected to take all of its Dark Souls games offline on PC.
That's
They have to
crazy.
do something to defend, and I'm glad they're doing something about that. But
Yeah.
sorry, it isn't clear why it was taken so long for the exploit in Dark Souls 3 to come to light. The hack was seen in action during a Twitch stream by the Grim Sleeper. Although the exploit was used in the stream, it was only used to crash the game and cause the narrator to begin reading text. It's a little silly.
Oh man, that's like why? Why do people do this, Scott? I don't understand why hackers are a thing. I'm not sure what they get out of it. To be honest, it's just it's frustrating. Honestly, it's really frustrating. But we'll see what happens. I think that's the right move. Taking it offline is the best thing they can do right now. Let's solve that issue. Figure out what's going on. How do we fix that code so that people can't get in and just tap into everybody else's PC? That is a wrong move right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the right move taking it off.
And it's jeopardizing their newest release, right? If there's code to be changed, they need to figure that out now. And I'm very certain there's a giant room full of people working on it right now. But
they're panicking to get it fixed, right? But do they shelve it for now? Get Elden Ring finished out the door because it's out in less than a month now, right? Less than a month away, Scott. Let's get Elden Ring done. Don't worry about Dark Souls. Unfortunately, that's going to have to be shelved for now because we have to get this one first finished. Get that out the door. And then once that's done, let's jump back into the world of Dark Souls and figure out what's going on and how do they fix it? How do they fix that issue? I think maybe that's one of the ideas they're working on.
They're going to bring it back as soon as you can be sure they will bring Dark Souls back.
Absolutely.
There's no timeline given right now due to the nature of the actual, exploits. But they're going to put all their priorities on Elden Ring. And I think that is the right thing to do. Because, well, you're going to have another extra couple million people on that day one.
Absolutely. Scott, what else is coming back is Crysis with Crysis 4 revealed in a new teaser in early stages
Nate's favorite shooter
of development. This comes from Wesley LeBlanc over at Game Informer. Crysis is a series best known for being a great FPS and a trilogy of games capable of melting graphics cards. Constantly pushing the envelope of FPS visuals with each release, it seems Crytek is ready to melt some more graphics cards because it has officially announced Crysis 4 in a new trailer released just the other day. Scott, hopefully it doesn't melt any more graphics cards because they are next to impossible to find.
Yeah, they're a hot item nowadays.
But, certainly are.
I have to wonder, is this going to come out on a PC, brand new consoles? Will it be on Xbox One, PlayStation 4? Are they going to stretch it that far? Because the question to do with Crysis is always, can it run Crysis?
Well, we'll see what happens. It's we got a quote here. It's something you've been asking us for a long time. So it's now finally time to confirm. Yes, a new Crysis game is happening, end quote. The blog post reads, quote, we are so pleased and excited to bring this news to you, and we really can't wait to reveal more details about what lies ahead. Right now, the game is in early stages of development, so it'll be a while yet. but we wanted to bring you to the news at this time as we are so hyped for the future and to let you know what we'll be listening to our community, end quote. Scott, when do you think we see the new Crisis?
Yeah, I'm expecting that to be many years out still.
I think so. Yeah.
It sounds like yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're hiring perhaps for this one. If it's just on getting off the drawing board, it's still many years away.
Dude, we're seeing a lot of this come out. Like Blizzard just announced yesterday that they're working on a survival game. Hey, come work for us. We saw Ubisoft Toronto announce that they're working on a new Splinter Cell. Hey, come work for us. Like, wow, what a weird way to be announcing your games lately is that, hey, yeah, this is very early stages. We can use your help. Like,
I think it's more to the consumer. Hey, if you guys survive February
yeah,
with all those games, don't worry, that's not the end.
no, for sure. Who else is hiring those? Scott, is Sony London Studio continues hiring spree for its mystery PS5 online game. If you don't know Sony London, they're the ones that brought us the PlayStation VR incredible title, Blood and Truth. Sony Interactive Entertainment London Studio is hiring for staff to work on its PS5 online title, which at this point is still shrouded under mystery. The London Studio took to Twitter to advertise a number of openings at the company, including senior character artist. Dude, once again, nowhere near completion. We have years before we even see this one as well. Do you think, though, that Studio London or Sony London Studios is working on a PS5 game, or is it PS5 for the PlayStation VR 2?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, given their history with VR, that would
Exactly.
make a lot of sense. And PlayStation 5, of course, is going to be their target, I think, anyways, because everything's pushing to the new consoles now. But with the announcement of the PSVR 2 and kind of some of the specs being pulled out here, I think that is possible.
Yep. No, absolutely. I think the way Sony's lining themselves up is that they want the games to launch on PlayStation 5 and be compatible with PSVR 2. So that you have two opportunities to play these games in two different ways. Because playing in VR is completely different than playing on your PlayStation. Trust me on that one. Scott, we're almost done for today, buddy. What games do we have coming out today?
We have Circuit Superstars on the PlayStation 4.
We actually reviewed that one, dude. Corey and myself played that. That is a Square Enix title. It was a fun game. Okay. It's challenging. I'll tell you that one.
Oh, we also have Daemon Ex Machina on PC. And I've heard that title many times, but I don't know what that is, actually.
Did you play it at all? I guess not if you don't even know what it is. I haven't played that one either. It's, I don't know.
I thought it was a movie, but I'm confused.
It's, did you ever play Zone of the Enders? It kind of reminds me of that.
No, I'm familiar with the name, but I've never played.
That was a Kojima title way back when for Konami. They did Zone of the Enders, but on that disc actually launched the demo of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
Dude, everybody jumped on it for
so it was
just
like Crackdown. Everybody played it because they were going, ooh.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, we're going to get to play this. I'll be over there. You can find me playing Metal Gear Solid 2 demo as I grab the disc for it, because that was the only way we can get in early, right, to play the game.
No hint of riding, eh?
No, nobody knew that was coming until it was too late. Scott was not too late, though. It's the end of the show. I guess it is too late, because this has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at Inside the Game Official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Make sure you head over to our Twitter at @theofficialITG. Give us a follow over there. That goes a long way. Scott, this is going to be it, buddy. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.